Hi guys, so since we know now how to write the comment, how to put a like for all of the posts, and now one of the latest stage for the post will be now to delete the post. Okay, so we will go now to our PHP development environment. In my case, it's NetBeans, which is free for use. Okay, so we will head directly to access.php where we will be writing right at the bottom the function which will delete the post. Okay, in this function we will have to execute the three steps of delete. First, we want to delete the post. Second, we want to delete all the comments related to the post. And thirdly, we want to delete all likes related to the post. Okay, so to delete the post is not the end, but we must delete all related information so we'll not keep trash in our server, let's say like likes, comments for the deleted post. Okay, so here we will write a new comment which will be a new function which we will give a name delete post, open and close round brackets. In the round brackets we will write ID reference. ID will be post's ID. Okay, so then we're opening the curly brackets. This function is responsible for deleting the post and all post related information like comments and likes. Okay, so in this function, as usual, first we'll write the SQL command which will be executed by our server. So here I'll create a new variable which is SQL will be equals to, and here we put the double quotation marks. It's very important to put a double quotation marks. Then we'll write delete from posts. This is our, we'll go to our database, so we'll delete from the posts, delete from posts where ID, that is the one, will be equals to the ID which we passed to this function. So here where ID equals 2, and here we put single quotation marks were coming out from the double quotation marks. Then we put a dot and we are concatenating it with our ID. Then again we're making space, then dot, and we will concatenate it with the closed single quotation mark and then semicolon. Okay, so this line of the code is looking like, I'll show you. For example, like this. So this is how this statement is looking like. Okay, so since we've done deleting, here don't forget to put semicolon, since we've done deleting the post from the database, then the second step will be, the second stage will be to delete the comments. Here we cannot write a separate SQL command, we will just keep continuing the same SQL command. To do this, just in front of the SQL, just after SQL equals dot and then equals, it means concatenate to this SQL variable, which is that one, the following statement. Okay, again we're putting double quotation marks, then we write delete from, then we are heading to the comments, or let's say likes, we're heading to delete from likes, the name of the table, where, and as per the structure we got, named it post ID, where ID will be the ID of the like, post ID will be the ID of the post. In my logic, whenever we build the app, whenever you build the app with Ahmed, the ID refers to the ID of this table. Let's say when the posts table, in the structure we don't write post ID, we just write ID which makes a reference to this post. Okay, so we will delete from likes where post underscore ID equals to, then we're opening single quotation mark, then we're coming out from the double quotation mark, then we'll put dot and we're concatenating it with the ID. And then we'll concatenate ID with a closed single quotation mark. So we write dot, we are continuing our SQL string, and then we're putting in the double quotation marks, the single quotation mark, then semicolon, and then semicolon to finish this line. And by the way, it's recommended after semicolon in the quotation marks to make a space. Okay, so here in the second line, this looks like that. Delete from likes where id equals to 1. This is how the second line looks. Okay, and the last stage will be delete the comments. SQL, then concatenate dot equals, then double quotation marks, and then we will delete the comment. We write delete from comments, that is the name of our table, where in the structure we got post ID, where post underscore ID equals to, then single quotation mark, we're coming out from the double quotation mark, then we're putting dot for concatenating, then making reference to our ID, then we're again putting dot to concatenate the closed single quotation mark. And then in double quotation mark, we put a single quotation mark, then we are writing semicolon, then a space, and then we are finishing this line of the code with the semicolon. Okay, let me write a comment for you how this line will be looking like in full. So that is, we wrote delete from post where id equals 1, then we wrote delete from likes where id equals 1, and then in the third line we are concatenating, that is the concatenating symbol, then we write delete from comments where post id equals 1. So this is how the full SQL command looks like. We just wrote it in the 3 lines, so it's better for us to understand that we're deleting the post with the 3 stages. Okay, so SQL command, or just we can write full SQL command in 3 lines. Okay, so since we wrote the SQL command, we just need now to execute it. To execute it here, as you see, that is a multi-query. So what we will do is we'll simply write this, then con, which states for the connection, then again arrow, then we will write multi-query, because here we're executing several queries, and we're making the reference to our SQL command in the round brackets. Then we put semicolon at the end. Execute several SQL commands. Okay, so then finally we want to get the result, what we have deleted. So we will write result equals to MySQL I, then underscore, here must be MySQL I underscore affected rows, and affected rows will refer to our current connection which executed SQL command. So we write $symbol this arrow con, which means connection. So here we are getting affected rows from the just executed query using connection, which is con. Okay, and the result of this function we are assigning to the variable which called result, and we'll finally return it. Return result and semicolon at the end. Okay, this is how will be looking like our function. We could have written this the same way like we wrote delete comments, but I would like to go in the little different way and to show you how we can execute several SQL commands. My another task is also to teach you a different ways of achieving the results. Okay, so now we will create a separate file which will be responsible for execution of this function. Probably if you would like, you can try writing it yourself, but definitely I would advise you to follow me. Okay, I will click on the right click on the project, and I will create a new file which will be delete post.php. I click enter and next. Okay, this file will be responsible for deleting the post and all post related information. So as you know, step 1 will be verification of the data received to this file. Okay, and we need only one data, which is the ID of the post. And here we will write if, then open and close round brackets, then open curly brackets. And here we check if the ID is empty or not. So we'll write if empty, then in the round brackets we'll write $symbol_request, then the square brackets, then single quotation marks will refer to the ID. And here down, if it is empty, we want to throw back some message. So we'll write return first the status, square brackets and the single quotation marks will be 400. And in the same way we are returning the message. Return square brackets and then single quotation marks, message equals to the single quotation marks, missing required information. And close it. And then we want to echo this, echo JSON_encode return. And we want to return, we don't want to execute it further. Okay, so here don't forget semicolon at the end as well. So that was the step one. Once it is verified, let's say once it's received, it will not execute this block of code. So then we need to pass ID in the through the safe mode. So I'll create a new variable, ID equals to HTML entities, then $_request, square brackets, and then single quotation mark and the square brackets, and here ID, and closing the this with a semicolon. Okay, here this is a safe mode of accessing ID and encoding it, so no one can hack us. Beautiful. So then we've got the step number 2, which will be establishing connection. Okay, here we will include the access.php require, then here we are accessing, we are going to the secure folder, that is the one that we're accessing, access.php, then semicolon at the end. And then after this we are constructing this, we'll write access equals to new access. Host name is localhost, then user is root, then password is just blank password because we got no password, then there is FB for the database name, and then we will establish connection. We'll write access equals to connect and semicolon at the end. Beautiful. Then the step number 3 will be delete post. Okay, so to delete the post, we simply require to execute the function access equals to delete post, and as a reference ID we insert the ID which we received to this file, and the result of this execution we want to assign a new variable which will be result will be equals to execution of delete post. And now we will check if everything went successfully or not. So we'll write if open and close round brackets, then open curly brackets. And here in the round brackets we put result. So if result, it means that if there are some rows which got affected, that is the one, then deleted successfully. Deleted successfully. And else statement, we will write could not delete. Okay, so once it got deleted successfully, here we will write return open and close square brackets, then single quotation marks, status will be equals to 200 in the single quotation marks, then we'll write a message as well, return square brackets single quotation marks, message equals to single quotation marks, successfully deleted. Post is successfully deleted, and semicolon. And one more thing is we want to see what got deleted, so we will write return open and close square brackets, then single quotation marks, we'll write deleted equals to result to see what we have got deleted. Okay, so then we will go to the else statement, which means it failed to delete, so we'll write return open and close square brackets, then single quotation marks, we'll write status will be equals to 400, the same like we've done above. Then we'll write the message return square brackets single quotation marks message equals to, then single quotation marks could not delete the post. Okay, and then semicolon at the end, and then we'll write return square brackets and single quotation marks deleted equals to result. Okay, so this is the if statement, and once we have done doing all of this stuff, then we need to echo this. We will write echo JSON underscore encode our return value, and that we want to disconnect this. So we'll write access equals to disconnect and semicolon at the end. That is the one disconnect from the server. So this is a save mode also. Throw back JSON to the user. Okay, so I'm going now to the my post, and I will delete some of the posts. Okay, I will delete that one. Hello, another user's post. The ID of the post is 7. Okay, so here I'll open a new tab, and here I'll write localhost fb, then I will make the reference to the delete post.php. It will tell me missing required information. Beautiful. Then I will put question mark ID will be equals to 7, or let's say ID will be equals to 7. Post is successfully deleted. That is the one post got deleted. And I'll refresh this, and that one got deleted. So that's beautiful. Everything is working fine. In your case, if it is not showing what it's supposed to show, you can now right now pause the video and compare this code, and after that compare this code. Okay, so it was really amazing experience, guys. We learned now how to delete the post. Let's now do this using our Facebook application.